We're just taking a leisurely walk. There's a man sitting here. Can you see him? Can you see the man sitting here? And I don't think that Lady G knows. And it's just the kind of thing that you would come across on a walk, and Lady G sees him. Come! I think that you would be fine, but I've been told that she has had an issue with people on walks in the street, and even though she might want to get petted at first, that wears off really quickly and she nips at them or tries to bite them or lunges, whatever. And so every person that I've come across, you see how now I don't have to do anything but back away. This is our first walk of the day and the first person we've seen on the street or out in public. And he's a calm person, so that's great. That helps us. It's a good way to warm up. But you saw she's like, oh, I'll go over and say hi. And so I just called her to come to me. And I think that because of your issue, and that issue has been there for a while, that we just have a zero tolerance policy and we just do exactly what I'm doing here. So when you're walking her, you follow all the same rules. A loose leash, you're never choking up because that'll cause stress in a dog and can cause aggression. And if she stares, and a tight leash can cause aggression in a dog like her. Keep it loose, use your training. She's got a great recall, as you can see. And then you can go back like this, and she doesn't, she wants to go the other way, but if you're close, just continue to draw her away. It's all about the pattern. The pattern, like she's been here for a week and we've been doing this for a week or so, but the pattern would be, come! So she kind of snuck around there. I didn't expect her to do it, but you just have to be on top of it. If the next several hundred times when she meets or sees somebody on the street, you do this, you're gonna have such an easier time with her because the pattern is that she pays attention to you because you give her rewards and love and say good, and you see how I'm doing it, I'm drawing her away with this target. And if she's moving towards that person, I'm gonna say C-O-M-E. I mean, you just do this every time. Come. So she looked at him, and I called her back to me, but she was about to turn back to me anyway. So no treats. Let's see. Good. See, that's what's going to happen. She just turns back. If she even sees out of the corner of her eye that you're backing away, she's drawn to you. And that becomes a pattern. Several hundred times in a row after you get her back, could take a month or two, the same thing happens. She won't even remember doing anything else. All she knows is she sees somebody, she turns away, goes back to you. You're the center of the universe. You have your solid recall, you can call her away, or she's just over time gonna be seeing somebody, turning back to you. You need to pay that behavior every time to overwhelm the already existing inappropriate behavior pattern that you've been seeing, which is her nipping at people. You stop to talk to somebody, she's okay, and you think she's fine, and then out of the blue, you know, 30 seconds later, she's lunging at the lady or whatever happened. I heard one of the stories was like that. Right now, we give her no chance to do that. We instill we do the pattern that we want to see every time, which is she's almost repelled by anybody on the street or anybody that comes around you because you're paying her to do that pattern, do that appropriate behavior. And later on, when you don't have to do it so much in 6 months or 3 months, whatever it is, after you've practiced like crazy, you've done it just exactly like we're showing you in this video, and you think she's perfect, you do it for a month more after that. Later on, you'll end up somewhere in the middle where, come, you have to be on top of it. You're not going to be making a video and talking like this in the presence of somebody like 4 or 5 feet away. But you need to be on top of it like that if you want her. If you want her to continue to go in this direction and never do that inappropriate response again. Good. So you see how it works, and we're going to show you some other situations as well. So we're coming up to somebody that's sitting on this wall. We're just taking a walk. You see how if she wants to sniff or something and she pulls, you see how I just tapped it a couple times? Good girl. This is all we've been doing the whole time she's been here for 7 days in a row. And she'll just respond by coming back to you. If you don't have a treat, just love her up. The whole thing is that there's never any stress in a walk. That means that you have a leisurely walk. You're not racing. You're not, you know, trying to wear her out. If she goes to the end of the leash, you see how I didn't do anything but just tap her, and then she came back my way. It's all very gentle. It's just a real strategic way of handling the leash that actually takes very little effort and has nothing to do with strength. Keep following me. Make sure that you can see all this. Make sure that, so there's a person sitting on the wall. Come! I'm calling her away from him because I don't know what somebody's going to do or say or any of that. So it's just, for me, for a dog with this issue, it's an opportunity. Come! It's an opportunity to practice. Good. So your time to do the training is out in real life, because she has her sit stage, she has her down stage, she has the training. Come! So, good. Your time out in real life, in public, that's when you do the training, because now we're using those commands that we practiced with her before. We're using them in the real life situation that she still has an issue in, which is, come! Maybe not being good, maybe not being great with a person she doesn't know when meeting them on the street. So she doesn't know this, but there's somebody walking around the corner. Come! So you're just showing up like that. Can we do a greeting routine with you? Sure. If you like stand over there. Come! So see how I can draw her away. Good, to set her up. Step into her. Sit just randomly when she's surprised by somebody from coming around a corner. Give the person some treats, and then make sure she waits. If she pops up before you release her, you just tap her and say no. Turned out I didn't have to do that, but make sure she waits. No. Go say hi. She gets treats. Come. But tell the person not to pet her if you're going to do this. Just accept the gift from that person. And where are you going, sweetie? Come this way. See, she wants to go that way for some reason, but I don't want her to, so all I have to do, instead of forcing her, is to tap and back away, tap and back away. We're going to do it one more time, because she set herself perfectly. Don't pet her this time, okay? Go say hi. Come. Just call her back to you. Good. And then that, coupled with calling her away from any person or anything that's going on in the street, like we're showing you in this video, like all of this is all reprogramming her to not be stressed out by people on the street, but to actually, you know, maybe look forward like, oh good, somebody's coming because we do greeting routines, or it's not dangerous when somebody walks past, or if I see them, it's a good thing. But in any case, always being drawn back to you, because when you say come, you become the boss, and she's doing something that you engaged her brain to do with you, instead of her pulling on you or just standing around with no structure at all from you, no commands or anything, and perceiving you as an object to guard. Like, that's what happens. You don't do any training, you just let her hang out and be whatever. After a while, they think you're irrelevant, and they start guarding you. A dog like her, they'll guard you because they need something to do. They're bored stiff, and she's protective of you. You're her source of love and food, and you're not telling her what to do. So you're just an object. You're a squeaky toy or steak bone or something, and that's what happens. Come. If she acts like she wants to go to somebody, I'm going to practice every time, drawing her away with that command and paying her. It's good, and the pet and the treat all at once. This is all you have to do with every person you see on the street for a while to make her, over time, better and better. We have somebody that's going to pop out from behind that truck, and she may or may not have seen him, but she's gravitating towards these open apartment doors for some reason. So he's just going to pop out, and we'll have another example of what to do with somebody on the street. Okay. So he's right there. Come. You call her away. Good. And we're going to do a little greeting routine. Step into her. It's okay to do a greeting routine with you. Yes. Sit. Just real quick. We'll just do one. And I think all you need to do is one. You don't have to send her over again. Just give them a big pile of good treats you have. Go say hi. No petting. Just let her accept that treat from you. Come. Call her away. And then you move on. If you just do that, like your treat that you give to somebody, It should be like chicken breast or something really yummy, little pieces of salmon or something she's crazy about. She only gets that from people on the street. It's the only time she gets that top flight reward. Right now I'm just using doggy treats or like little lamb chips or something. You need to use something so much better than that if you really want to make an impression on her that, oh, I love people on the street, I love to go greet people, they're my friends. She gets that piece of chicken breast and she's like, ah, okay, this is great. Can't wait for the next one to come along. It's the opposite of what you've been having before with the stress and the lunging at people and nipping and that kind of stuff. She really wants to go towards the shade. It's not that hot today. It's not really hot at all, but she really gravitates towards the shade. So she's pulling, but you see what I'm doing? It's just a tap and release, tap and release. If she's gonna go towards somebody, see how she turned away from those people? It's what you wanna see more of. And this is a place, one of the places we've been practicing. And I'm just gonna, I didn't call her to come to me, I just got closer to her, I'm stepping into her like this. See, it's that set up, sit at the end of that circle. Have her sit, just like this, there you go. And then practice a little sit stay with people walking past. Maybe I'll even do this as I'm walking around her because this could be a stressful place for her. People coming out of nowhere and from every direction. Good girl. So I would practice this every day going somewhere. Not that you should do this. I think maybe you shouldn't do this yet, at least. And we have somebody walking straight towards us. She looks at me. Good. You see how that worked? You didn't see him. Now he's walking behind me. And now there's a person with a cart. She looks at me. Good. She gets rewards anytime that she notices somebody and she, right here. And she turns back to me. She gets paid. This reduces stress. This is also reward for a new behavior pattern to notice and choose to turn away, look at me, get paid. It only makes my relationship with her stronger, of course. There's two people walking right towards us. Right here. She had to itch. Maybe I'll just do down. I'll do it down now because for a big dog like her, I'm sure that the sit is uncomfortable. Down is going to be a lot more comfortable. But it's a good place because we have people walking head on. Good. And she remains calm. And you know, doing this on your street might be okay if you can find a driveway that's like back from where people are walking past like this, but not on the sidewalk because you live in a regular place. Good. Person carrying plants coming from behind us. Now you see him. She looks back at me, she gets paid. But having her do this on the sidewalk and having the danger of a skateboarder or people walking right on top of you, I wouldn't risk that, but do it in a driveway or a walkway where she can watch them walk past and they're not going to like be right in front of you or come from right behind. That's a little bit too much. But of course I'm just showing you what we're doing here. It's a very, there's a lot going on and could be a very stressful place for a dog like her. So she notices them, you see how she turned back to me, good as they pass by. She's very good with her downstays, obviously, and everything else. And I think you should do this. If you do this, good. She looks away from that man. It's standing there. Good girl. She looks away again. More treats. So I'm doing this here just to show you what she could do. It's really all about the handling. So you have to do it the way that I'm doing it. And this is way more of a stressful situation than you're going to take her to, but good. You can see how we can build her up and what she can handle when you get used to doing this with her. Just get more confidence and get better at doing my part, because really that's what it's all about. You do things the way that I'm doing them. No. For some reason she thought she should pop up and we didn't release her to get up. So I said no, and I'm just going to gently but firmly put her back because she needs to wait for our permission to get up. And there's no reason to pop up. It's not hot here, it's cool, it's very comfortable. And now we're done with this video anyway. But if you do things the way that I do them on the video, you're still filming, right? You do things the way that I do them here, you'll have very close to the same results over time. Okay.